It's Crafty Jennybug. I have an idea. I want to experiment a little bit making some tags. And what I want to do is I'm going to paint them and then I'm going to try out some texture paste with some stencils and see if I can make a cool like dimensional design on these. So I'm going to start by painting them with some folk art acrylic paint in Italian Sage. I'm going to experiment with painting on this side and the multicolored sides just to see how it works with this paint, how many coats I need for coverage, things like that. I thought about doing a coat of white first, but I'm experimenting, so we're going to start with the Italian Sage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need white on these. I'm not even gonna clean my brush. I'm just gonna use some apple barrel white. All right, I'm gonna let those dry a little bit, go clean my brush. All right, I have mostly dried these off with my heat gun for the sake of, you know, progressing the video time-wise. Oh, there's a big old glob of white there, whoops. So this one I did not prime, just painted on it with the Italian Sage. This one and this one I did a coat of white to kind of give it a nice baseline so that my colors weren't being too weird. I decided not to paint them all Italian Sage. I'm going to do one in this khaki color. I'm going to do another in this blue. So first I will carry on another coat of this one. Next, we'll do the khaki color. All right, and last we have this robin's egg blue. All right, I think these two need another coat. This one I think is done. All right, I think I'm gonna let these dry completely before I go on to the next step. So, all right, before we get into the texture paste portion of this video, that was hard to say. Before we get into the texture paste portion of this video, I wanted to do a little collaging on here first because I figure if I put the texture paste down, I won't really be able to build off of that because it will be three-dimensional. So I kind of want to make that like a final part of the piece. These, I put clear gesso on. I'm not sure if I filmed that part. It's been a few days since I played with these. But they have 2 coats of paint and a coat of clear gesso. And I grabbed a few dyed book pages. And I went through my scraps and got a bunch of those so that I can collage on these a little bit. I also have, this is watercolor paper. I really liked this dragonfly. I wanted to keep these kind of neutrally gardening themed. So I've got some watercolor paper with some creatures I painted. And then I've got this page from when my daughter and I were stamping, when we made stamps. Yeah, from when my daughter and I made stamps. It was our scrap sheet to test, and I liked this butterfly and this bee, so I might use them. as well. I grabbed a bunch of neutral scraps from the box. Not really sure yet how I will use them or where. I think I'll just try to focus on one at a time. I like this. I like that as like a tag top. Ooh, that could be cool. Yeah, it's just white on the back. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm just using Elmer's glue because it's what I have. And I have a few stencils that I've chosen. I got this one, got from the Dollar Tree, and I was thinking about these swirls in a couple of places. Or like the brick pattern. I really like the brick. Maybe I'll do that on that one. And then I have some stencils. Where did they go? This one. I wanted to use this stencil on one of them. Not sure which one. Could do it across the top. And I also have this stencil, and I really wanted to use this like lotus looking flower. I think that would be really pretty on that. Yeah. So I like the look of this on here. So maybe I'll just do some more decorations up near the top. I like that bee there because then the flower will be down here and it'll look like the bee is landing on it. Yay! I think I'm going to call that one done. I know it's a little weird. It doesn't feel complete to me, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to stick that bee down though. And I think I will gesso over this before I do the texture paste, because that will be, that might secure the pages down a little better than they currently are. So we've got that one ready for gesso. And then we'll do one of these two. Okay, I think I will start with another coffee guide page. On this one now. Forget you for now. This one, I want to basically frame around it so that when I come in with these, they'll be the center point. that one is good. And what I will do is let that dry, and once it's dry, I will trim off the edges. That one. Okay, for this one, I think since I'm going to do these squiggles, I think I want the squiggles to go up and down. And then because of that, I think I will align these pieces side to side. All right, I think that one I will let dry as well. So here are the 3 tags. They will dry, and then I will give them a coat of gesso and let that dry before I come back with the texture paste. So stay tuned. So these have dried, and once the glue was dry, I took the liberty of backing them on a piece of neutral colored cardstock. That way they aren't as flimsy as they were. They were starting to get a little bendy, curling up, things like that. So they each have the same color cardstock on the back, just a thin cardstock. I think these need another coat of gesso over the top before I do the texture paste. So that's what we're gonna do. Where my gesso at? And my paintbrush. So these are gonna get a clear coat of gesso, and I will be back when they are dry to show you how we do the texture paste. These are finally ready for the texture paste. That's pretty neat. Of course there's a cat hair stuck in it. I mean, it's not perfect. I did get a little there. I like it. I kind of wish I had brought it down lower. Oh well. We'll let that dry, and then I will do something to it. I'm not sure what. I wonder if I could color. I bet I could color texture paste. Alright, so this one I wanted to do wavy lines. Okay, we'll let that one dry. And then this one, I wanted to do this. Oh, I like that a lot. I said I kind of want to color. It's not perfect down here. But I dig it. Alright, well, I will let those dry, and maybe I will attempt to color them a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. All right, I am back. These are dry. They're really cool. The texture paste has dried to like a rough consistency, almost like dried clay, which is really cool. I do regret not coloring the texture paste, but I think I have a way around that. So I'm going to lay the stencil over where I put the texture paste. And then I'm going to color in what I did. So for instance, with this flower, I've got some Distress Spray stain, and I think I'm going to use it on this flower, if I can open it. This one is Wild Honey. It's a pretty like orangish color. We'll see how it works. Get a paper towel, kind of just blot the excess off. Oh, that's cool. I can use this in something else. Okay. So I like that. I like that a lot. And then I have this Distress Oxide in peeled paint. And I think if I can get it open without hurting myself, I'm just going to take a sponge and rub it over the stem part. Don't let me actually use the it sprayed through. Okay, maybe not my best idea, but it's an experiment. So in the future I will color the texture paste before I use it. Alright, I don't hate it. That could have turned out better, but I think it's cute. I kind of want to spray some gold. I'm going to use this Delta Ceramcoat Gleams acrylic paint in metallic 14K gold. Okay. And I'm going to water it down. Just going to spray a little water in it. I want it to be kind of runny. All right. I like that. It just needs a sentiment. That yellow really isn't doing it any favors, is it, though? Maybe I should paint it. Okay. Yeah, I like it better gold. Awesome. Well, that one I think just needs a sentiment, which I'll probably place up here, and I will find when it is dry. Next. Well, we see how well spraying worked out. And I think for this one, I'm not going to spray over the texture paste. I think I'm just going to, excuse me, this is a really thin stencil that still has texture paste all over it. So what I think I'm going to do So I'm just gonna use this Distress Spray in Salty Ocean and try spraying it on there. I think I'm gonna do one here and one down here. Use some scrap paper so I don't get it where I don't want it. Oh man. Okay, that didn't go quite as I hoped. Let's try that again. This one's not my favorite. I like that one more. I'm gonna let that dry and see how it goes. Not sure about this one. I lost all the colors I had in it. I wasn't a huge fan of it before then though. I do like all the blue. And this one we're gonna let dry and see what happens. I think this one should say Embrace Imperfection because that's what it is. Okay, so for this one, I'm not real proud of it. I should have used a paint dauber, like a sponge, and a thicker paint, but I think I might. I have a metallic gold alcohol ink. I think I'm going to dribble down it. Why not? Make it look intentional, I think. I think I like that better. It is grungy and I don't even know how to describe this. Okay then. I don't know. I've just lost control. So yeah, I like it infinitely better now that I've covered it in gold alcohol ink, but I'm still not in love with it. So yeah, we're gonna let that dry and I'll figure something out. All right, after a fair amount of deliberation, I have decided what to do with these. This one, I really didn't want to cover up that texture in the background, and so I have this chipboard fairy that I'm going to glue on there, and I might line her with a little gold. Maybe, I don't know. I think there might be enough gold. Maybe I will splatter her with a little bit of gold. So for this one, I'm just going to put this down and splatter a little bit of gold. And then this one has a lot of gluing going on. I have quite a few things I've die cut of, like some vines, some die cut leaves, this little fairy postage stamp, and Once Upon a Springtime. I think that will complete this one. So, I'm gonna glue all this stuff down. These are gonna go sit underneath a book to dry before I do any of the splattering. All right, these have dried. I'm really happy with them. I think this one I might go ahead and call complete. It has a bunch of gold on it. I don't think it needs any more. So that one is done. I like it. It might be my favorite of the three. So there's that one, and this one. This one I just want to do gold splatters on, I think. This one, actually this, I want some more green down here. I'm going to use some peeled paint. I'm going to use some peeled paint, Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to kind of, maybe I'll give it some green around the edges. Then I'll take the vintage photo. I don't know how it got blue on the back, but it works. Cool. That might get a tiny bit of splatter. And this one, I still kind of want to do like some gold edging around her, but I'm not sure. I really like her like she is, honestly. Maybe I won't do anything at all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call this one done too. It's really cute. And the background is very interesting. So I think that one will be called done as well. And this one, I think this one is fine without the gold. Yeah, I think we're done. I think I'm gonna call all three of them done. So there we have it, my first forays into texture paste. This one was by Ranger. It was a lot of fun. I didn't need as much of it as I thought I did. I'll be playing with that in the future for sure. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had a lot of fun playing with techniques I'd never used before, so that was a nice learning experience. Hope you don't mind learning along with me. I don't mind showing my failures and my successes, so if that's something you're into, keep watching because I'm going to keep doing that. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day.